Good morning, welcome back, Ted here. Welcome to another video on the bus. This video is going to be about the floor plan and how we're going to lay it out. Still got some questions on it, but the process I think is really important because obviously you've got such a small amount of space you want to use as efficiently as possible, and there's a bunch of planning that goes into not just the layout of where the fun things are going to go, or where's the stove, where's the sink and the bed and things like that, but also planning the mechanicals, like how you're going to run the plumbing, where the wires, where the electrical panel is going to go, the propane, and that stuff's actually pretty important too, so you don't sort of paint yourself in a corner and figure out that we want to put this here but we can't because the plumbing line has to go through there, or you can't really run a drain through the tire. So that's we wanted to spend a lot of time over the course of the winter planning. So still got some questions. So a couple things we did is I got some chart paper here, and we'll show you this couple fun games. We had friends over, and hey, sit down here and play the puzzle game, see how things all lay out. So we'll show you kind of how we did that, and then we moved actually out into the bus with some cardboard boxes, and they're still in the process of trying to sort of lay that all out. So take a look at what we have, and really appreciate any kind of help that you may have in the comments. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah,
this is the back of the bus, but the door is here, and the driver's seat is here.
Okay.
So
this is all living space. Mm-hmm. So we're coming in here. So we have two options for the beds, either a queen or a full. I used to be really snobby about wanting the bed to be just this way, where the pillows are here, and that neither one of us would have to crawl over the other to get into bed.
I think that's a good idea.
But space-wise, this way kind of makes more sense, where somebody's going to have to crawl over the other. If it's this way, I do the crawling. If it's this way, Ted does the crawling.
Sometimes crawling's fun.
Why can't you still space it the other way?
One square here is 1 foot. We could. And we've seen things where most people tend to keep the aisle that you had in a bus all the way down. But some people put like a wall here, so you had like your living room, so there was kind of a wall here, and then an aisle this way to go back, so it took out the bowling alley. So you could put...
26 feet or 36 feet?
Yeah.
We had those flip-flopped.
Yeah, but
What flip-flop?
the fridge and the second couch.
Because Julie really wants to be able to sit.
Okay, we're on to another phase in the floor plan, the layout of the bus. And what we're going to do is, because I'm not really good at spatial design things. Remember in middle school, I had to take a little test where, if you fold on the dotted lines, what kind of shape would you get? I don't know if you ever took that test, but I remember taking it, and I think there were like 20 questions in it, and I got the first one, and after that I was completely lost. So I can remember the lyrics to like 200 songs and do 3 or 4 Shakespeare monologues from memory, but space and numbers just don't stick in my head. So as you can see, we did the little graph paper on the table and moved things around, which is a great sort of initial experiment to try to start playing around with the space. But it's not quite good enough for me, especially if it's going to be pretty permanent, I think, putting it together. So I got a pile of cardboard here, and I'm going to build all the components here to scale and put them up in the bus so I can see what we're going to do. I got my dimensions here and my handy dandy clipboard, and I know it's sort of a time-consuming process, but it's winter. I'm not in a huge hurry. Can't really, with glues drying and paint and things like that, it's not going to really work. And foam insulation, all that stuff's not going to really cure up well until the spring anyway, so I've got the winter to pluck away at it and make sure that I'm fully ready to go when we get there. So follow along the process, and we'll see how it goes. Seems if I put it way over here and then use this to frame that wall, I didn't have, it just seems like it left this big dead space in the middle that I didn't know what to do with it.
I thought Katie said something about like a little shelving thing in the bathtub, shower area.
Yeah, that's a huge sheet. Seems like that's a huge space.
Oh, well, I thought you had it over there more.
Well, that's if I put it way over here.
No, put it back where it
I put
was.
it over here.
And we could put a super skinny cabinet right here.
Yep.
You know, it can be shampoo and toilet paper and stuff like that, or it could be just extra storage space, because I would think we'll need it.
The other thing is that do we?
Where do you have the door?
Yeah, unless you just do some sort of curtain. Which may be
Which might be fine. I'm just worried about the water spraying out of the shower.
Well, I think you need an additional shower curtain. So this curtain here, and then or build a
Tiley wally thing.
or
A half wall. Oh, a slide.
sliding shower door, but that's kind of weird.
No, that's weird.
I
Too
think
much
you're
room.
still dealing with like build the pan
Yeah.
and put a shower curtain there.
Yeah. I think that's all we need. Honestly, nobody's going to be. If we're having guests use our composting toilet, all the guests are going to be there. Nobody's
Right.
going to be in the bedroom waiting. Nobody's going to be
No.
in the shower waiting, and
Right.
chances are not many people are going to use it anyway. All the men will pee outside.
Yeah.
Most of the women will too. Alright, so we're a couple days later in bus layout floor plan idea, so reached kind of a sticking point. So let me give you a tour and show you what we got so far. So yeah, getting the bus here, a little darker in here, sorry. So I see, so we got, pan that around. So as you come in here, I see this being a pull-out couch, and I'm not sure if it will pull out enough to go all the way across, but more than likely, you know, if I'm about 30 inches here for the seat, from about 30 inches over here for the seat, then I can go about 60 inches, and then maybe on this side here, I've got a table that can fold up from the, well, I can lay it all the way down and have this full open space. I can fold it up and extend the bed, so I can go all the way across here and make that a full-size bed, and then lift it up one more level and make it a table with a couple chairs, so if it's just Julie and I, you know, we can do that.
And so then we got our kitchen here. I see the stove going right here. I get a little concerned about sort of splatter getting on the couch over here. So what I might do is build a little half wall, and then anything splattery oils and stuff I may try to work over here in the right burner. And then the the sink kind of here, and looked at a couple different designs about maybe putting it up here or maybe here at this 45. I'm not really sure. It depends on kind of what happens to that back space over there. Got the refrigerator here, and I think I'm going to manufacture. I've got this furnace from a camper that I'm going to manufacture a heat exchanger, I think, out, and that's going to take some room. So I haven't figured out if I like the fridge up here. It's a half fridge, RV, propane, AC. So maybe I can fit the heater down below or hit it to the side, one of the two. But I don't want to encroach too much in this space because I need to be able to walk through, and I can't go too much further this way because I want this bed to be able to sort of fold out. So some interesting challenges there as well. And we do kind of like this design because we kind of like, I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see, we kind of like this sort of half look that doesn't look like a straight bowling alley right down through, as Julie calls it. So this is kind of the working design. I think this is pretty self-explanatory way back here. I mean, we'll have the bed laid out something here. It'll be lofted up a little bit higher, but I think this will be the bed. Probably oriented that way, full size. And then back here, we're going to end up with a garage because we need to be able to store, the raft and different boats back in here. Those really can't fit anywhere else. So kind of that garage is a necessity, I think, for us. So what I'm really challenged with here is how to work in the shower and the toilet amidst these two wheel wells here. So I do kind of like the shower right here. I mean, I can go in here. This is actually kind of big enough, and Katie, my daughter, suggested this would be kind of you could actually make this a seat and step that up. Wouldn't be bad, or a shelf to put sort of shower implements on. But then, there's a toilet go this close, which makes it hard to get in. And then how do you block this off? I guess becomes, if you put a door here, that becomes really constricted. I suppose you could just put a curtain, which may be a possibility, or maybe sort of slide the toilet over on this side. It'll be a composting toilet. So that might work. And I do actually, again, like I said, I like to shower here back to back with a sink just because it makes it so much easier to drain, and I can put tanks right directly below them, so that makes the drains actually pretty easy to do. So I don't know, that's kind of where my impasse is trying to figure out the layout with this. So if you have designed a Skoolie and you've got some ideas here, I'd certainly appreciate any help in the comments. Or if you're just better at space in your brain than I am, and you've got some better ideas about how to do that, please hit me up in the comments. Definitely could use some help with this part. Like I said, I thought about continuing this video until I figured it out, but I might as well post it now, and I'll come back with some updates later on. So again, hope this has been somewhat entertaining to watch sort of the process. And like I say, look forward to hearing all of your ideas. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.